SportsLit, I'm Shaheem Sutherland. It is known that college football players dedicate a lot of their time towards the sport that they play. They spend countless years, months, days, and hours just to perfect their craft. Many do this because of their hopes to play in the NFL. However, it is known that only a small group of players get a chance to be in the NFL, furthermore, play in the NFL. According to NFL football operations, each year, only 875 players will sign an NFL contract, and only 300 players will make an NFL team. For some players, wanting to play in the NFL is the only goal that they foresee for their future, and they do not prepare for life after the NFL. On the other hand, there are players who do prepare for life after the NFL and are fully prepared to move on if necessary. In an interview that I did with former Florida Atlantic University defensive back Christian Milstead, he spoke to me about his tryout with the Green Bay Packers during the 2015 NFL rookie minicamp and how he is dealing with life after the NFL. Check it out.
Hi Christian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to do this interview with me.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Okay, let's begin. About a year ago, after playing football for Florida Atlantic University, you were given an opportunity by the Green Bay Packers to try and make their team. How did that feel?
It was a very, very surreal feeling to know that I was good enough to be scouted by a team from the National Football League. It was a very gratifying experience, and it was a very good experience as well.
You mentioned gratifying. How long did you have aspirations of playing in the NFL?
For as long as I can remember. I mean, I've been playing football for roughly since I was 7 years old. So, I grew up watching the NFL, and it was always a dream of mine. And then when I realized that it was, attainable, I definitely got more and more excited about the opportunity.
Now that the period in Green Bay is over, what are your thoughts towards them?
I think they are a great team. I actually have a friend that plays for Green Bay. He plays linebacker. His name is Sam Barrington. He's actually the starting linebacker for their team, and I wish them all the best in the world. They're a world class organization. They definitely take care of their players. They're very serious about their organization, and the city of Green Bay is amazing. It's a football town. Everybody's dedicated to the Green Bay Packers. It's a very cool thing. So I wish them all the best.
What did you learn during that period in Wisconsin?
I learned that I was just as good as people that I've seen on TV. I also, learned that when it comes to football in the NFL, it's really a business, and you can't take anything personal. You just have to always be ready for your number to be called.
Is there anything you would do differently?
No, I think I put my best foot forward, and when it comes to doing things differently, at the time I felt like what I was doing was right. So looking back on it now, there's nothing that I would change.
How did you land in Green Bay?
Well, they actually, they came to FAU's Pro Day, and I actually talked to them after the Pro Day, and they called my agent a couple of times throughout the draft process, and they told them that they were they were interested and they were interested in me playing nickel and corner for them, and they wanted to see me a little bit more, and that's where the rookie minicamp tryout came into play.
After the draft, did you have an idea of what was going to happen?
Yes, pretty much. That was a pretty good indicator of what was going to happen with the calls that I was getting through the draft process. So I pretty much knew what was to come next. Just wasn't sure of who it would come from.
So you were fielding several offers.
Yes.
To even get a tryout with an NFL team, you have to have a pretty solid resume on the field. What do you remember the most from your time playing for FAU?
I would say I would remember the most my junior year. Our defense was ranked the number 11 defense in the nation. Our pass defense was the number 2 pass defense in the nation, and that was something that I was a very key contributor in. And my junior year, I had 4 receptions. I had 1 went back for a touchdown, and it was that year was very memorable for me.
How did you end up attending that school?
Well, how FAU came about, I actually signed my national letter of intent to play at the Naval Academy, and it ended up not being a good fit for me personally. So when I came back home from leaving the Naval Academy, my high school coach actually started to shop my film around, and he ended up getting in contact with Coach Allen, who is now the running backs coach at FAU. And Coach Allen called me, and this was around June, like May or June of 2010, and they brought me into camp in August, and the rest is history.
After you left the Navy, you arrived at FAU. Did everything run smooth all the way to your senior year, or was there some turbulence during the first couple of years?
There was definitely some turbulence in the first couple of years. When I got to FAU, I was told that I would be on scholarship a semester after I started, and one thing led to another, and it didn't happen like that. So, I was dealing with out-of-state tuition with me being from Georgia, and it was definitely tough in my first year. The second year got better, and then after my second year, I was put on scholarship. And from there, it was pretty smooth from there.
Like you said, for the first couple years, you weren't on scholarship. Do you remember what occurred on the day you were told you were going to be put on scholarship?
Yes, I do. It was one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life. The current head coach at the time, he pulled me in the office, and he didn't even say anything. He just he gave me a pen and pointed down at the desk. And when I seen the scholarship, I was just amazed, and it was a very good feeling because I had put in a lot of hard work to get to that point. And the fact that I was able to sign a full-ride scholarship was amazing.
That's pretty cool. Did you know that was going to happen on that day?
No, I did not. I was told that the scholarship was coming, but just a few financial things had to go through first. So I was on edge pretty much, for a month trying to figure out when it was going to happen. And the day it happened, it was, a day during preseason camp. I was tired, worn out from practices. And when that happened, man, my whole attitude just changed. I went from being very, very tired to being very, very happy. So it was a great feeling.
Based on your past, one can make the assumption that you're pretty good at overcoming obstacles, right?
Yes.
So, I was reading an article called Life After the NFL is a Struggle for Many Former Players, written by ESPN's Jeffrey Chadiha. In the article, Chadiha stated, anybody who has played long enough understands there's a difficult transition that comes with shelving the shoulder pads forever. Is this an obstacle that you are currently facing?
I would definitely agree with that article. Every football player goes through the phase of wondering whether they should hang the cleats up or not. It has not been a very difficult phase for me just because I was always a person who didn't depend just on football. I was always taught that I had to depend on my mind as well, and that was the reason I really focused while I was in school to get a good degree so that I could get a good job as well, just in case football didn't work out. Granted, I do still want to play football. That is still, a goal of mine to get to the NFL and stay there. But the transition of not playing at the moment, it's not a tough one.
What are your plans now?
Well, right now, I have a good job with LA Fitness, and I'm enjoying that. I'm also training still, as if I could get a call to go somewhere any day now. And you don't put your life on pause, because you just have to just keep going and just keep working hard in whatever that you're doing. And I'm still training, still working hard in that aspect, but I'm also working hard in my company as well.
Thanks again. I wish you luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
For more information on this interview, click on the link below, located in the description area. For SportsLit, I'm Shaheem Sutherland, and for more information, subscribe to this YouTube channel.